Well, hi there, and welcome to the Origins Game Fair here at Star City Games Columbus in Columbus, Ohio. I am joined by, let's call him Deck Tech All-Star Jeff Hoogland. This is many trips into the Deck Tech room for Jeff Hoogland, and you've brought something equally spicy today. Now, how many colors would you say are in this deck?
Yes.
Right, they'd be all the colors are in this deck. So you've got like a 5-color control deck going on here. Tell us a little bit about the genesis of this deck.
Okay, so earlier this week, I started with wanting to play Far and Away, War Leader's Helix, and Blood Baron all in the same deck. And I realized that those 4 colors weren't very receptive to being able to cast all of your spells.
Sure.
So why not add a 5th color?
Right.
So green, through Abundant Growth and Farseek, make sure we can cast all of our sweet spells that are just really powerful.
Absolutely. And you have Farseek. People are used to Farseek at this point. I think that when I said 5-color, everyone was like, oh, there's 4 Farseeks. Abundant Growth, not so much played, but very important to this deck, not just because it can fix your mana, but also it draws a card.
The cantrip is huge because there's not room for things like Think Twice or Azorius Charms to cantrip in this deck. It allows you to only play 25 lands and still be able to hit your land drops consistently with that cantrip.
Excellent. So you were talking about Far and Away and War Leader's Helix being 2 of the most important pieces of the elimination suite in the deck. You've rounded it out with Turn and Burn, Pillar of Flame, and Bonfire of the Damned,
yes.
An old favorite. Not so much played as much anymore because things like Boros Reckoner are around, the Aristocrats. Oh, well, Bonfire used for 75. Well, I've still got 4 creatures. Still very potent. You were telling me earlier you had a little story about the Bonfire?
I was looking at a board state where my opponent had a bunch of creatures that my beast tokens from my Garrett couldn't attack. And I was like, man, I'm going to lose this game. But then I drew my card for the turn, and it was the Fair and Balanced Bonfire of the Damned.
Right, which you've never cast before.
That was the first time I'd ever miracled it in a Sanctioned Magic event, and he died.
Yeah, that's definitely a balanced Magic card is what that is. Very fair in this deck as well, that can quickly pump out a lot of mana. You were saying that your 9th mana fixer and your 5th Farseek is the Singleton Rakdos Key Rune.
Yes, Rakdos Key Rune is fantastic because in addition to ramping to my many 5-drops, it does good defense and offense. I've won many games when we were testing this deck, just attack for 3.
Sure.
Attack for 3.
Absolutely, and they live through opposing Terminus and Supreme Verdict, things like that as well. And they can trade with opposing Thragtusk, or not even trade, trump opposing Thragtusk,
Definitely.
which is very nice. Snapcaster Mage, another Farseek, another elimination spell if you need it.
Yep.
Just a very good card in this deck. You also have 2 Syncopate for the things that you need to be able to deal with on the way down.
Yes, definitely. And Syncopate's something a lot of people won't expect out of a mana base like this. And once they get caught by it, they're going to have to respect it or get blown out by it again.
All right, we've successfully not died.
Yes.
Now let's try to win the game. We have lots of ways to try to win the game. We have Garrett Primal Hunter and Thragtusk, both of which you might expect to see in a deck like this. Although 5 colors, 3 green mana, a little ambitious, but it is 5-color green.
So one thing I like to point out when a few people told me Garrick seemed greedy, there's 19 green sources in his mana base. That's more green sources than Jund plays, plus my Abundant Growth. That's really conservative for Garrick.
That's actually a lot. You're right. And it's also, you can't really run Sphinx's Revelation in this deck.
Correct.
White is the 5th color. You can't really afford to run that, so having Garrick as your draw source is very good.
Yep.
You also have Thragtusk. Obviously, everyone's used to Thragtusk.
Yep. Having your threats also stabilize the board is fantastic.
Right, and people aren't carrying 2 spears like they probably should be.
Correct.
You've also got Blood Baron of Vizkopa, a card that's picked up in popularity the last 2 weeks.
Yes, this card is finally starting to see the play that I think it deserves. It protects itself for most of the potent removal spells in the format. Mizium Mort is only the really thing that catches it consistently.
Yeah, and those cards are on the decline.
Yep. And against aggro decks, it does a really good Battle Skull impersonation of stabilizing the board.
Absolutely. And you have 1 Assemble Legion just in case they can deal with your creatures.
Yeah, definitely. It takes over a mid-range mirror. It's really good if you can sneak it in against control.
As interesting as your main decks always are, and they always are, let's go to the sideboard. We have a little bit of a hodgepodge of a sideboard that I'm just going to list off some cards that some people might expect the Cavern of Souls and Etherling sideboard plan. That might be expected. You might even expect to see Abrupt Decay and Detention Sphere. Those are good catch-all answers. You know, at this point, people might even expect your Evil Twins. Those have been popping up in popularity a little bit as well. Then we get to Sepulchral Primordial.
You know, I'm going to be honest. I didn't even know what that card was named this morning.
Sure.
I walked up to the booth and was like, give me one of those black
The
primordials.
Black Primordials, yes. But this is a very potent card that people have been using on Magic Online to be able to deal with the Junk Reanimator mirrors. Being able to steal an opposing Angel of Serenity, very powerful.
It's very good against Jund and other mid-range decks. You get 2 creatures for the price of 1.
Absolutely. Anything with Grizzly Salvage or anything that throws creatures under the bus.
Yep.
Very powerful effect. You also have Curse of Death's Hold, a card that's been picking up a little bit in popularity as a result of so many Doom Travelers and Young
Yes.
Wolves and things like that.
So originally I was playing one of those in the main deck, but after testing a bunch of games, we realized Blood Baron of Viscopa was so good against those Aristocrat decks that I just didn't need the extra help, so we cut it for cards for other matchups.
Absolutely. And you've got an Electrickery in the sideboard.
Electrickery is very diverse. I like it against the really aggressive decks to be able to have access to 5 1-mana removal spells on the draw.
Sure.
And the Overload also catches Invisible Stalker, which is nice.
Nice, yeah, that's a very good point because a lot of people would be thinking about running things like, is it Staticaster in that slot? But being able to knock off, Invisible Stalkers, very important for this deck. Electrickery being able to do that, very
Definitely.
important. So you're a player that's well known for brews, and you have had success with them. The players have not necessarily followed your lead when it comes to things like Rug Flash, in large amounts. Now, of course, other people other than yourself have top-8 tournaments with Rug Flash. They've top-8 tournaments with the 4-color Loam deck that you're very well known for playing in Legacy. But you seem to have a special gift for it. Why do you have this innate ability, or do you just have a drive that you need to brew?
Whenever I go into a Magic tournament, I know that I'm going to play better if I'm having fun playing the cards I'm playing.
Sure.
And like Magic's a game of variance, so the best player isn't always going to win. So if you're going to lose the matches, you might as well do it playing sweet cards.
Exactly. You may as well do it miracling Bonfire and having Blood Baron in play with your turn and burn.
Yep.
Yeah. That makes sense. And so you're undefeated so far?
I am 2-0 to start.
Excellent. Well, we've expected that out of you in the past, and good luck going forward. And we're very excited to have yet another Jeff Hoogland special here in the sideboard. Thank you so much for joining me.
Thanks for having me, Ruben.
This is Jeff Hoogland. I am Ruben Bressler here at Star City Games Columbus.